we talk about like Tommaso, your previous movie that was released here in the States
Yeah,
only.
yeah, I
Only
remember. I remember really well. Okay.
it was released only in demand here because of the pandemic, but now this new movie, Siberia, is finally opening here in theaters a few days before
Yeah.
the like DVD Blu-ray thing. So that gotta be gratifying, right? Finally, back in
Yeah.
theaters
No kidding.
in the
Yeah. Yeah.
States.
Yeah. Feels good, bro.
What about Rome? Did you have the chance to show it there in theaters?
Siberia came out, yeah, last summer though. It was a pandemic. It came out. It was kind of a light, a little bit in the pandemic, and yeah, we played it here. It's played in Russia. We played it in a bunch of places. I actually went to Russia kind of in the pandemic. That was a bit scary, but you know, I just felt like a film called Siberia playing in Russia. I had to be there.
so
Risk
so
my life.
so you've been going to theaters even during the pandemic.
Now here the theaters have been closed pretty much. They had to just that one brief, moment that it wasn't, right? But so no, they're opening it now, like here, like in LA. The moment is
Yeah.
now. So this is like
And
the
then
moment of freedom. Even when I was in Russia, they kind of like last summer there was like that kind of little like eye in the store in the hurricane, that was it. But otherwise, it's been locked down.
and are you vaccinated?
Yep, I got my second Pfizer shot against all, odds. I mean, at my age, I'm not so worried about the long-term effects. You know what I mean? I'm kind of like, so yeah. How about you? How about you?
Yeah, sure. I feel okay. I don't know. I feel okay. No, nothing bad happened to me.
What 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 vaccinate? What did you take? Did you get vaccinated?
Yeah, Moderna, like the two.
All right.
Yeah, I got
And how did
Moderna
it
as well.
affect you? All right, good.
Yeah, I'm just reading that like in Italy, like theaters reopened like kind of one month ago. Have
Yeah.
you have you been going to the movies already?
No, I haven't been going. I've been working, so I'm working. So, I don't know. I'm waiting to go. We're getting ready. We're going to take the new film. We did another film called Zeros and Ones. We're taking it to Locarno. So, I'm anxious to go to the festival.
Sure. So
That's in
let's talk about
August. So.
let's talk about Siberia.
Yeah.
Siberia has like Willem Dafoe in the main role, like in Tommaso, and like
Yeah.
and four other movies, four other of your movies before. So I'm gonna try to describe it. So the movie is supposedly about a guy named Clint that has like a cabin, like a bar in a remote and
Right.
very cold place, and he starts like traveling on a snow sled with his dog to different
Right.
places, or maybe he's having hallucinations, or maybe it's just this is just like a dream thing. Maybe
Right.
this is his nightmares. What was the origin of the story? Because of course you have a better idea than me.
No, I just started having this vision of the cold, like this Jack London kind of setting, a
Yeah,
bar in a cold place and two guys are running it. And then I started thinking about Willem as two characters, and maybe one of them is real, one of them is not. I'm thinking about Willem as his life as being, instead of like creating Clint, it's more Clint playing Willem than Willem playing Clint. You know what I mean? And the journey is a physical journey, like a real journey where he's really riding those dogs, like you're on a dog sled in that kind of Jack London world of my childhood where I'm from the Bronx and I would read these crazy stories about, Call It a Wild and all that. And you can imagine how crazy that would sound to me. We were going to really take that trip and take his odyssey into different places, physical places, the snow, the mountains, the desert, Mexican desert actually shot near Arizona, the enchanted forest again of our childhood, and then back home, so it's like you know, kind of Wizard of Oz. You go and you come back. And then, you know, and it's a journey of his mind. It's a guy in that point in life where he's reflecting on the things that happened, the things that that he wished happened, you know, the things he's afraid of, the things that he can't understand, you know, trying to come to terms with it. Yeah.
It's interesting because yes, you mentioned it can be like very intimate because he's trying to find himself and everything. But then the scope of the movie is big, you know. It looks like, by the way, it looks amazing. I mean, the scenes in the snow are like pretty amazing. So it's still like independent movie. It feels like independent movie, but it's just the way it's shot is vast, right? It's just not like contained. So can you talk a little bit about that? About making that movie that can be like very intimate, very like maybe obscure, but at the same time like looking so amazingly.
Yeah, no, we were going for, you know, the idea was of nature. The idea was of extreme, you know. I think that's more like it. So I wanted to really, for once, go to these places, you know. Went to the top of the Alps in Italy. You know, we went there, you know. I mean, we were there. And then we took it to the desert in Mexico, you know, northern Mexico. And you know, we were like, and we're filming it, you know, just the way we would film the streets of New York, or we'd film, you know, Tommaso in Piazza Vittorio in Rome, you know. And then, you know, it's a great opportunity, you know. I mean, it's why I make films. It's the beauty of the process, you know. You can imagine crazy shit, and then you could do it, you know. 1 minute you're thinking about, I mean, you know, you're thinking about being out in the desert, and then you're there, you know, and you're shooting it, and you're doing it with the, you know, people you love, and it's cool, you know.
They're supposedly taking place in somewhere like the Sahara Desert, something like that. But they were like shot in Mexico, and I noticed at the end of the movie during the final credits, you know, because it's supposedly the Oasis segment, and then all the names were like Latinos. You know,
Yeah, they're all Mexican. Yeah, for sure. No, we were like
the Mexican team. The first time you worked
I was looking.
Yeah, how did it happen?
It was the first time I worked in Mexico. It was great. It was really great because, you know, we had a crew. I knew, you know, we picked up a crew when we got there, and the crew was like, I don't know, they had like 7 or 8 cats, and then a pickup truck shows up with like 15 people, you know, because everybody's cousin and whoever, you know, just came to work, you know, just came. They did. And, you know, they came because they came, and we worked, and everybody was less happy to fucking work, and we were cool, you know. Everybody speaking a different language. We're working with guys speaking Italian, speaking English, who speaking Spanish, but we're making a movie, you know. And it was like we started early, went late, nobody gave a fuck. I could still be there shooting. These guys would be with me, you know. So I had a really good experience there. You know, it was hot, it was all this bullshit, but it was very cool. Mexico City was also very cool. You know, the idea.
You remember the name of the place exactly? Do you remember the place because you say it was like a?
It was almost a border town close to Yuma, Arizona. I forget off the top of my head, but anyway, you know. But the concept was the idea. You know, medicine was a big thing in the film because actually, Willem's father is a doctor. His uncle, you know, his family, surgeons. Actually, his uncle was a very famous doctor, and his father's a famous doctor in his own right too. So this idea of medicine, and the idea of the expectations of a father for his son, you know, and the idea of the birthplace of medicine, you know, which might have been the Egyptians back in the day, you know. And again, these are all places where we start at. Yeah. But then we ended up in the Mexican desert. We're getting all that culture too, you know. And so we started introducing other, you know, that crazy shit these, you know, women were chanting and the people, so and using the Mexican actors,
Yeah. And you have like in that scene you have Daniel Jimenez Cacho. He's a very like a famous Mexican actor, and he portrays like as you say, he's like a teacher, like a spiritual
Yeah,
leader. So
yeah,
the movie is just not like like a collection of like dreams and nightmares that you might have, but
right.
it also has like some like interesting like spiritual thing
Yeah, he's
combined
speaking
combined
Nietzsche
with the
there.
black art. So,
Yeah, in that scene, right. In that scene, he's speaking Nietzsche, and he's talking about sleep and about the restorative powers of actually going to sleep. You know what I mean? And for me, that was like a big deal, because I've been sober for 9 years, right? And the biggest thing for
yeah,
me in being, giving up drugs and alcohol was actually to be able to sleep and to go to sleep at night like a normal person on the planet or like a normal animal on the planet. Like, you know what I mean? The sun goes down, it's night, and you go to sleep and you wake up.
yeah,
It seems like a simple, stupid thing, but it's like a revelation, and it changed my life 100 degrees. And Nietzsche gives a beautiful rap about it. Like as a doctor, I used to think it was a joke when a doctor would say, "Take 2 aspirins and go to sleep."
yeah,
I think he's trying to get rid of you. Actually, it's the best advice you could ever get. It's like, if your fucking phone is fucked up, shut it off, reboot it, And then that actor brought his interpretation of that speech, which was not written. It's Nietzsche from.
sure. It's interesting because I've been reading some of the the reviews of and the comments, and it's funny because of course there's people that are gonna like love this movie. There's people that are gonna hate this movie, and
The
there's some
usual,
interesting
bro.
things because some people say, oh, someone say like in the trailer, like, oh, I didn't know that I was supposed to have like mushrooms before watching the trailer. Some other people say, I don't understand anything. I mean, how do you take criticism at this point of your career?
I listen up. If it's coming from I feel like it's coming from a place of, you know, affection of like someone who's trying to, reconcile the movie to himself to try to understand where we're coming from. We're laying it out with a lot of love and a lot of feeling. You know what I'm saying? We're not coming from a cynical, negative place. If I feel like the shit's coming from a cynical, negative place, I turn off. You know, if I feel like it's coming because somebody's really trying to come to terms with it, sometimes you don't get it. Sometimes you can't see it. Sometimes you need time in a movie. I mean, in my life, I've seen movies where I've hated them, and 20 years later, I said, shit, I get it. You know what I mean? I missed it. I totally missed it. Any other way too. There's movies I rave about, and then I see them again. I said, what the fuck did I see in this? So things change. In situations, you see a movie change, but we're doing this to connect to the people. We're doing this because we want to express, especially in a movie where the expression is a group expression. This isn't just some singular thing coming from me. You dig? It's from all the people who made it. Obviously Willem key, but it's from the whole group. And we're doing it because we want to express it. We want to talk about, we want to connect. And that's the beauty of the movie, of the cinema being open again. It's not an alienated, isolated act. It's a shared experience.